All right. What's up, everybody? Persia here with Marvel Live. We're back again. First Tuesday of the month. And as you already know, you can catch us every first and third Tuesday of the month. We've got a packed show tonight. But before we get to any of that, we've got to run through the cast. Unfortunately, KP and Jonas could not make it tonight. Which is why I'm filling in for KP on hosting duties. And we also have, from the original cast, Potato Salad. What's up, man? How you been?
Doing pretty good. You know, been gone all April, so I had to come back for May.
How was your trip? You were traveling the world.
I mean, I guess you could say that I wasn't playing Marvel, but I was traveling. But I'm back, and I'm ready to talk about Marvel.
Yes, sounds good.
But still not playing.
And Steve, what's up? How are you doing?
It's good to not be a bum. I'm back. Thanks for having me. What's up, y'all?
And Kyle, Merkel, how you been?
It's been great. It's so awesome to have so many of the original crew back together. It's been a while.
Yeah, for sure.
We've been around, dude. Stuff's been happening.
Yeah, a lot. Life has been life. But now, of course, our special guest, and I'm actually excited to have him on today, is RamBam. What's up? How are you? Tell the viewers a little bit about yourself and, yeah, what's going on in the world of RamBam?
Totally. Hello. My name is Ramzel. I am from Boston, and it's pretty cool over there. I've been playing Marvel for about 3-4 years now, playing on Hitbox and just repping the scene. Been a lot of fun. I try to be as informative as possible, putting out tech videos on YouTube, being very welcoming. I'm a big fan of dogs. If you check out my Twitter.
Tell them who you used to play, though.
I used to play X-23, but then I sold my soul.
Yeah.
And now I play Zero Doom Dante because I like having options.
Yeah.
I like having options. And if you follow my Twitter, I promise there'll be a lot of dogs. And I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you say you're a dog lover, though. No Amy on the team?
No, I'm more of a corgi person, not a...
All right. Cool. Fair enough. Fair enough. And we have a lot of other things to talk about on the show. It's going to be crazy. A lot of Marvel 3 talk, a lot of Infinite talk, and just Marvel all around. Doesn't get much better than this. I'm going to run through the topics briefly before we actually go in depth with all of that. We have a Texas Showdown preview, which is happening this weekend, May 5th through the 7th. That's in Houston, Texas. They have Friday night exhibitions along with a pretty interesting looking singles tournament. Just a few of the exhibitions. I'm not going to name them all because I'm just running through the topics, but we've got Terry Bogard versus Frankie G, Flux is in the mix, Screwbex is in the mix. It's definitely interesting stuff. We're also going to be covering Danger Room, the voting, the winners, the whole weekend schedule.
The losers.
Yeah, the losers too. Our boy Jonas, we love you, man.
And
we'll
me.
talk more about that, and you. But I think Jonas took it really seriously.
You're the other loser.
Yeah, but you're taking it really well. But anywho, we're gonna talk about Danger Room, all of that, plus what you can expect to see during that weekend, which is May 12th through the 14th. Shout outs to Angelic, of course, for putting all of that together. Can't wait to go over that. And then we get to talk about Marvel Infinite. Finally, how long were we waiting for any type of information, right? We were in the dark. Everyone wanted to see something. And then they kind of just dumped a bunch of information onto us. And now here we are. We get to nerd out and talk about it, freak out about everything. And I'm ready. So first things first, Texas Showdown preview. I actually want to start with Marcus on this one because I know he probably has a lot to say, and this is just starting with the exhibitions. We can go into the singles side of it a little bit later, but tell me what you're thinking about these exhibitions.
All right, so we have the Terry Bogard versus Frankie G, as you said earlier, and that's a 1st to 10, and
for money.
Yeah.
How much is on the line?
Do you know, Steve?
Not exactly. I just caught wind of all the Facebook crap talk, and
I have no idea how that started.
I think it was just something about Terry just saying some stuff, and then Frankie popping off, and then Terry's like, "No, you won't. I bet you won't." And then he's like, "Yeah, I bet you will." And then
Basically, Frankie caught himself trapped. It was like, I can't look like a bum, so I have to play this man for money.
But you can't. I don't know. Like, how can you ever bet on Frankie on this?
Yeah.
I have no idea, but there are people betting on him. So I think they were. I mean, I guess, should we talk about money on this? Like, I feel weird about betting and stuff, you know?
Or more so, like, who do you expect to win? Let's just. Like,
I think it's gonna be cleanly in Terry's favor. I know Frankie plays Mag Doom Virgil, but I just don't see his play as clean enough to win 10 games against Terry Bogard.
I mean, he does play Virgil.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like Terry's going to control the match too much. You know, like Virgil will be his only hope, and I don't know. I wouldn't bet on Frankie, but I mean, I think it could be competitive if Terry is pausing every other game.
All depending on the pad.
But yeah, I honestly don't think that will be that close. Like maybe 10-4 at best, in my opinion.
Oof.
And then we got Noel B versus Rubix. First to 7. That's the first to 7. I'm not sure if these other two are for money, but it hurts my heart to say this. I watched Screwbix play at Slam. I watched all his matches at Slam that were streamed, and he was looking a little bit rusty, but he also was doing some things like he's always doing the most. So it's like kind of hard to say that, you know, like he's doing these high execution combos and just like super lengthy style combos. And I mean, he can't afford to drop that stuff on Noel, which when I was watching him play at Slam, he was doing a little bit more. So it hurts my heart to say, but I think it's going to be a close set. But I think Noel, maybe 7-5, wins that.
It's pretty close.
I know Screwbix for Scroll, but what is he playing now? Or is he still playing?
He still plays the same team, Scroll, Spencer, and Modok. And like, actually, it was funny. Noel showed me why I should be playing Scroll on point with the 2-button tech, and he says it does that to him all the time. And he's like, "There's no reason you shouldn't be playing the team this way." So I actually made the switch after final round to point Scroll, but
ooh, I like it.
I'm not a execution monster like Rubix is, so I still watch him for guidance. So I'm definitely watching. This is my set that I'm gonna watch, like my must-see set, because I think it's gonna be the closest set, and also I just want to steal everything I see. And then the last set is a first to 5 between Buckethead, who is he's also an execution monster. He's like a lesser known Texas player, but I think he plays Zero Morgan Doom, and he runs Shadow Blade Assist. He really, really loves to alpha counter, crossover counter Morgan in. And so he's really about that life versus Flux. And I think these two, this is like the wild card match, just because I don't think people have really watched Buckethead a lot. And Flux has been more so focusing on anime as of late. So I think that this could be like just like, hey, you never know what will happen with this. I think I would take Flux just based off his experience, but I think this will also be this set could either be super close or super one-sided, in my opinion. It just depends on how sloppy both of them are or are not, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, it totally does. And I think Flux hasn't always had the greatest record against, you know, the Zero Mirror either, so that can be something to consider, unfortunately. But I don't know. He's been playing, I think. You know, he's been helping NLBC get their weekly Marvel tournaments going. Yeah, exactly, and he's been winning. So, you know, he's been doing his
I wouldn't say
thing.
his priorities have shifted.
What do you think, Ram? What do you think about these exhibition sets here? We got Terry versus
Well,
Frankie, Noel versus Screwbix.
With Marcus's points. I definitely think Flux is gonna win. But I will say that he is grinding. Like, there's New York has 2 tournaments a week, so I don't think that he is not even like close to out of practice and playing Ray consistently. And like, I think last week's like House of like Chaos session, like Flux got 3rd and then won NLBC the day before. So like Flux sometimes gets weirded out by like non-traditional approaches. Like I think he struggles a lot against Punisher every so often. And I think Buckethead might be that non-traditional approach that might kind of frustrate Flux, but I think at the end, Flux is gonna like. Noel Brown, I play with him a few times. He comes to Massachusetts every so often, and he's nice, dude. He's good, and I like he's good. So I think he's gonna kind of probably beat Screwback's like 7-5, 7-4, and then Terry. Y'all are being generous. It's gonna be like 10-3, maybe 10. I don't know.
All Virgil games.
It's gonna be it's all Virgil games. Yeah, it's just asterisks behind the 10-2.
Ouch.
Sorry.
I wish we did that.
You're cool, dude.
I wish we did that.
I mean, it'd be cool if in tournament, if you won with like a Virgil comeback, it only counted for like 0.5 of a win, so you had to play again. I don't know. Too late to start changing rules now, you guys.
Oh. You changed this rule, that we're going back to 360.
Dang, late in the game.
I don't know if we're gonna do that. We may as well take it all the way back. Let's go back to PS3. Let's make it fun.
That was never a thing.
You mean vanilla? You mean vanilla?
Yeah, right. Let's just go back.
Yeah.
To
What about
vanilla,
Vita? Let's just play on Vita Net Play.
Yes. Just have a bunch of Vitas up on the grand final stage. That'd be sick.
Marvel on the go. Yeah, so that was pretty much our exhibitions, what you can expect to see. That's going to be on Friday night, so the 5th. That's this Friday. Don't miss it. Anybody happen to know what the stream link is to Texas Showdown? Is that going to be a Panda stream?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll find out for you guys. We'll tweet it. We'll make sure you know, but just know it is going down this week. Oh, actually... Oh, what am I doing? I have a graphic! Ta-da! Oh, but it doesn't say the stream anyways. But yeah, check out the graphic.
Womp womp.
Texas Showdown. Yeah, you can see it right there. There's your matchups. We just talked about them. Woo! Good thing I remembered that early because I have a lot of other graphics that I need to remember to put up too. Okay.
Graphics.
Yeah, so Texas Showdown. Let's talk a little bit about the pools. We have some interesting pool matchups also. Pool 1, some notables, Flux, J-Dog, Stone, Young Chow. Someone shine some light on some of these guys. Marcus?
All right. Well, we all know who Flux is.
Yeah, we don't have to go.
Stone.
Can I just say real quick? I am so glad Marcus is back. Like this is where like this is his entire wheelhouse. Is like I know what every character's been doing or every player's been doing for the last year and a half. Like their sleep habits, where they eat, who they've been talking to on the side. Like that's awesome.
Word. We missed you, man.
All right, well, let me finish then. You didn't miss that, huh?
Go back to
he's the big body player, so he plays like Nemesis, Hulk, Hager, right? But or Sentinel, Nemesis, Hulk, Sentinel, I believe. But also, yeah, he's been trying out Chris as well. So it'd be interesting to see. I don't know how fresh he is with Chris, so I'm not sure, and I'm not sure what the matchups that he actually uses it in. So it'd be interesting to see some Chris play. We all know Stone. He's the plays the wonky Zero team. Is what Zero Dorm Wesker. I think.
No, he plays Magneto now.
Oh, he's
does? Switching. He actually plays a neutral assist. Thank God. Because he's actually pretty good.
He almost he got 3rd at final round in his pool, I believe. Or he was at final round, which was the first time I saw him in a while, and he almost made out of the pools. And I only put Young Chow because he was like a super hardcore Taskmaster tech guy, and he only really goes to Texas tournaments.
Is he the Trish Frank West task player?
He's played so many teams with Taskmaster. Like he's been trying to figure out how to consistently land the unblockable, which is like Yeah, so he's run like Nova Hawkeye Taskmaster. He's run Frank Trish Task. He's run Trish Dante Task. Like
yeah, I've seen
pretty
the
much
feature, yeah.
every variation. Let's see. Pool 2 is Jan. I'm so happy.
I'm so happy.
Jan
Yeah,
come back.
Me
like,
too.
If you guys don't know, Jan is the best.
Jan is the best.
Like I will forever be a Jan.
That's the other thing that's been missing since you haven't been here. Like every episode, Jan's the best, and every episode, New York is gonna win whatever they're playing. Like that's all it is.
And X-23 sucks. But
and that.
Yeah, and that.
Let's see what else we got. Ninja Nam, who I believe isn't he a Nemo player?
Yeah.
Nemo player. And then Marn. So that pool has two Jan and Marn in that pool. So that'll be super interesting to see that. Pool 3 will be a Noel Brown, Rubik's. You know, that's their pool.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's really weird because their exhibition is the day before, and they are in pools. Then Compound X, who is also the Nova Doom, Nova Spencer Doom player from Chicago. He's one of Joey's trading partners, and hopefully he has a breakout tournament because he always I always see him do well in casuals, and it'd be nice to see him put some work in a big tournament and make some noise. And then in Church, who he got top 8 last year. He's a Zero May Cry player. So be interested to see if he holds it down in Reps Texas in top 8 this year again. And then the final pool standouts are, again, Terry Bogard and Frankie G. So, I don't know what happened, but it seems like
this on purpose? The hell?
That happened.
Yeah, I don't know. 2 of the 3.
What was it NCR? There's the big exhibition with Ryan and Apology Man. Where's that at?
Yeah, that was the team.
Yeah, that was. But I could have sworn
they have pools, and then they had to. So it's so weird because I think they saw each other in pools, or was that top 16?
That was top 8.
It was top. It was top 8. It was top 8. Yeah.
Okay.
At that point, you can't avoid that. But, yeah, Noel B and Rubik's in Pool 3 after playing the exhibition the day before, then Frankie G and Terry in Pool 4 after playing the exhibitions. That's kind of weird, but I mean, who knows? They could have made pools before they did the exhibition stuff. And then the other person in that pool is K Brad, so expect to see him make some noise too. Are you going, Sam? Don't you and Yipes? Don't you and
Yipes
Yipes
is going. Yipes will be there. He'll be casting. I don't know if he entered or not, but he's definitely going to be commentating, but I can't make it, unfortunately. And I feel so bad because it's been so long since I've been to Texas. I feel bad.
Yeah, and I was going to say, too, there's, as of, I checked earlier, just right now, and it's 36 players entered, so those are pools of 12, or not 12, I'm sorry, pools of 9. So hopefully we get a couple more entrants so they can get some more curly points.
Yeah.
Was it cut out at 48 or is it 64?
I think
might be
the next one is 50. Is it
like
50 and 100?
I thought it was 64.
Okay.
I think it's 64.
Well, they got a little ways to go, but hopefully, I expect them to have some last minute entrants or registrants as well. So that's going to be what we said, the 5th through 7th, and I know Panda will be streamed, but I don't know if he'll be streaming Marvel.
Oh, 50 is the next one. Yes.
Yeah. So okay, then they're about 14 off. So hopefully.
Yeah, I definitely think it's possible, and everybody knows Marvel players only register on site for some reason. So,
hopefully,
we got to change that in Infinite.
Yeah, hopefully just Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 players. Let's new start.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. They can't complain about Marvel players not supporting majors if we're putting all that money in their pockets. They better respect our game, right? Hey, I don't want to pay $25, early bird. Let me pay this $50 at the door.
Yeah, right. Well,
is that the Marvel tax?
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, you're right. At the end of the day, it's kind of us paying more, but I don't know. We can change that. We have time. We can do it. Any final words on Texas Showdown, you guys, before we move forward? Because we have a lot of other stuff to talk about. Next topic is Danger Room. So any last words from the cast?
I just hope, I hope Jan and Screwbacks get top 8, or I hope they're grand finals.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not going to happen. But
I want to see Marcus's social feed if that happens.
Oh man, I'm gonna be blowing it up. But I didn't see freaking Zebu in brackets.
Oh man.
Huh. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while, and I really hope he makes it out to this event because I feel like I feel like, you know, we've named the players, but I feel like there's like 3 or 4 more players that could potentially sign up and make top 8 Texas players, you know. So hopefully all their stand-up players enter. So I didn't see Buckethead either. I didn't see him in pools either, but who knows?
Who knows? We'll see. So be sure to tune in. Texas Showdown is this weekend, May 5th through the 7th. Here's a nifty little graphic for your viewing pleasure for the final time before we move on to Danger Room. Now, Danger Room just finished. Danger Room was a very special format. 8 players invited to a godlike house. Angelic put all this stuff together, and he's given us the schedule. So I'm going to pull up the schedule right now. It's on your screen. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday action. And this is what you're going to get to see. We also have some explanations and stuff here. So on Friday, we have our little introduction. It's going to be where Yipes... Oh, yeah, by the way, hosted by IFC Yipes, of course.
Woo!
So he's going to be there all weekend to bring the hype, come to these matches, and even put everyone through hell in Mario Maker. He loves that game, and he loves making other people play that game because it's so difficult. So that's going to be fun, too. So Yipes and KP, our host, Ooh. He's going to be there, too, to discuss everything. That's going to be coming up, what's coming that day, matchups, so on and so forth. And then the round robin waves are going to start. And you can see right there, round 1, 2, 3, and 4 on Friday, and then round 5, 6, and 7 on Saturday. So what's really important about the round robin format is that it's going to determine the seeding for the Sunday singles tournament. So everyone's going to be, you know, trying their hardest so they can get that good seeding for the Sunday tournament because there's a lot of money on the line. I believe we also have a breakdown. Yes, we do. We have a breakdown on all the money contributed. But let's finish the schedule here. We also have the all random tournament. That's going to be Friday evening around 7 p.m. I know exactly why Angelic put this all random tournament in it, and it's because he's absolutely godlike at all random. He just is. I don't know how he got so good at it, but he is actually one of the best all random players. One of my most favorite memories is from, I can't even remember which Evo, but Flocker and Angelic did all random, and Flocker was getting pretty salty because Angelic was bodying him. So that was fun.
He's gonna have his run because like Chris G is no slouch in that either, and yeah. I know Ray and Static Alpha and Eddie have all, you know, messed around with different characters, just random characters as well. So like I know Static Alpha can do like Chun-Li's Infinite randomly. I know Eddie plays Phoenix Wright on the side. I mean, freaking Ray plays low tier like Spencer and Taskmaster sometimes too. So,
yep. So that is definitely going to be interesting. I'm excited to see. It's all random characters, assists, orders, can't hold assists to swap. 1st to 3, single elimination.
It's going to be nothing but like Simcoe Storm. Like everyone's gonna be like, yeah, I play all these characters, and like no matter what, anytime I've ever played a random all, just the Marvel gods hate you for it. They do not reward.
Have you seen? Do you not remember Chris G's side teams that he ran against me in C? That man is good.
Yeah,
was that the Chun X23 Shinko? Yeah.
He ran
X23 Shinko Chun against me, and then against Tasif he ran Cat Strange.
Cat Hacker Strange with Eye of Agamotto assist. I remember that very well.
Yeah. So that's gonna be fun. Then late Friday night, the after hours is gonna be a Bomberman tournament or special, or you know, the guys are just going to be facing off against each other. So that is a pretty good salt-inducing game. So I'm actually excited to see that. Then moving into Saturday, obviously round robins continue, and then there's a pros and locals team event where 8 locals from Arizona and Vegas, the Arizona Vegas scene, they'll come to the house for that, you know, particular time, and then they'll partner up each local with each pro that's in the tournament, and then it'll kind of be like 2-on-2. A 2-on-2 tournament. So pretty cool, pretty interesting. Giving the local scene a chance to level up, play with some of these, you know, top level players. At what level they're bringing in the local Arizona players. You know, you might be beginner or intermediate. Not too sure yet. I'm sure more information will come up for that really soon. But it'll be a team brackets. Huh?
When are they supposed to sleep? Like... This sounds like work.
It's definitely work.
There's no party time. What's the party time?
Hey, that's all the after hours. Yeah. Those are all the after hours. We had Bomberman on Friday.
Your matches aren't being played. You can sleep when Joey D is playing.
Because it's boring as fuck.
So yeah, and the winners get a prize for that tournament too. So that's awesome. Then the after hours for Saturday is Danger Room Retribution. However, our description is question mark, which means that those details will probably be added at a later date, and you're just gonna have to wait. Don't get too excited. That's on the way. And then we're gonna move into Sunday after that. See, they'll get to sleep in that day. They're not doing anything until noon. They'll do some warm-ups, and then they're opening up the floor for you guys to do AMAs with all of the 8 invited players. So ask them anything, get to know them, their backstory, you know, get some tips for characters, so on and so forth. So this is actually an extremely well-rounded event, and I'm already excited for next year. Anywho, after that, after our Super Mario Maker, we talked about this earlier, where Yipes just loves putting people through hell in Mario Maker. So he's going to make everyone run the gauntlet on some of the toughest levels out there. And for anyone who's played Super Mario Maker, if you can make a level and beat it, you can upload it. So I'm pretty sure you guys can tweet them some levels. Make some levels for Danger Room. Tweet it to them. See if they'll play them on the stream for you. But yeah, that's definitely a thing. Another way to be involved, because this has definitely been a really good community experience. So yeah, that is the schedule. Interesting roundup.
Need to try and slide a copy of Puyo Puyo Tetris in there somewhere. Now that's the new hot fire for anyone that that missed that it got its stateside release.
Yo, can we make our predictions on what this round robin is gonna look like? Who like, you know, who's gonna go 7-0 and who's gonna go 0-7?
Yeah, totally. But I think let's let everyone know the 8 people first, right? They knew that the auto lock 4 were Angelic, Christy, Dual Kevin, and Ray Ray. Pretty solid 4 right there. Then the last 4 was up to a community vote. Started out with Twitter nominations, and then got into the phase where people used their votes from participating in Curly, participating in... Was it open to all Marvel tournaments or just the Curly tournaments? Because as far as I know, I think it was...
Tournaments.
Oh, all Marvels. Okay. So, yeah, they rewarded people for even participating in Marvel tournaments. And you got to use those votes. You got to buy merchandise that were, you know, Danger Room branded, Curly Circuit branded. And it all went to the pot and went to the players. It went to, you know, getting your favorite player in, so on and so forth. So... obviously, a lot of ups and downs. The roller coaster was crazy, but we ended up with the 4 voted-in players of Not Enough Damage from Atlanta, Static Alpha from Kentucky?
Yes.
Yes, okay, Kentucky, T.A. Wolf from Mexico, which is really exciting. We'll come back to that. And then Joey D. We're definitely gonna talk about that. No offense to Joey D, but dang man, crushing dreams, crushing them.
And then the ghost of Jonas and RamBam.
Yeah, the ghost of
Y'all
RamBam. You know, you've been a little quiet over there, and it's probably a
It's all
salty
good.
moment. But tell us what you thought about the experience, and just you're here, and we appreciate that.
Totally, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate. Yeah. Friday was so that my entire work week was so stressful, especially Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Like I was going to work more stressed out about Danger Room than my actual job. It was tough, but it was a fun time though. It was pretty cool to like get people mobilized and like get my name out there, because that's something that I've been sort of wanting to do for some time, is that try to shift some of my social media stuff to more fighting game related things, because I've kind of mainly retweeted dog pictures on my Twitter account and nothing else. But now I'm trying to use it for more of like trying to connect more with people on social media. So having people, retweet me, vouch for me, and just like share some of the videos I was posting. It was a fun time, and I got people to like really like invest in me, and that felt good. And then hopefully like got people to just say, who's this RamBam guy? Where is he coming from? At least for a moment,
Yeah.
It was a fun time, but yeah, that Friday was pretty stressful. It was hard to swallow, and I went home and streamed online Marvel, because that's how you feel better, right?
That's awesome. Well, what kind of advice can you give to people in terms of social media in this day and age of Marvel, right? It makes a difference now that, things are growing and turning into, a little bit more of a public thing.
Totally. So, I mean, I'm like, my social media isn't popping like some other people's. Like I only have like 375 followers, and only like a small percentage of that are actually fighting game players. But really reaching out to like people in your communities, so I reached out to like people from like the Smash scene, the Street Fighter scene, to like really all like share and retweet things. And I would like personally tag people, be like, hey, would you mind sharing this? Hey, what do you think of this? I thanked every single person who like voted. I made sure that like I was, being super sincere with all the things that I was saying. And I was like really trying to create like a fun like kind of thing that they felt like they could be a part of. So I was like constantly reminding people about it. But know that people don't necessarily feel bad when they're helping out. Like I work in like the nonprofit like world, and so people don't feel bad when they help out. They feel good when they help a friend out. So like asking people to like vouch for you are like it's a good feeling. They feel great. So just like create content, whatever it is. Like I had my girlfriend, she helped me like make those like vote for RamBam things. So like having fun things that people can like retweet, like pictures. People retweet pictures like more than text. Like that's like a proven fact that people, if there's a picture or a video attached to something, you're more likely to get like retweeted or like liked. So like create stuff that people can share, because that's how like most people get their followers. If like you're posting a crap ton of memes on like Twitter or like Facebook, they follow you all of a sudden for like putting out like kind of garbage. So like put some good content out there, and you hopefully you get followed even more.
Yeah, totally.
My dude. First of all, I want to say I 100% wish that you had made it in. Like, I didn't want to play any favorites, so like I kind of did like a somewhat veiled like, yo, these are the 4 people that I want in when it came down to that.
Totally.
Obviously, you were one of the people that I wanted to get in.
Appreciate that.
But it was super, like, what you said is like, I appreciate you going about it in a positive way, and then even having a positive mindset afterwards. Because like Jonas also did make it, and I also wanted him to make it in. But like he's in the chat, so he's hearing this now. Like he has like super withdrawn, and I think that like, how did you feel after you lost? Because I mean, we were trying to pick Jonas up and like kind of tell him like, yo, man, like it sucks that you lost, and we wanted you to do well and we wanted you to win, but you shouldn't feel bad about the community supporting you the way they did. Like the fact that you brought that many people around you to support you is like, that should tell you how much the community cares about what you're doing. It shouldn't be about the fact that you make it or not. It's the fact that you were actually in the running out of 16 people. Like how many hundreds of Marvel players, thousands of Marvel players are there, and you were one of the 16 people that, you know, was in the running, and you were within the final, like you were like a couple of seconds of getting in, you know, like
yeah.
You did so well, and the community rallied behind you. So how did you feel when you lost? And like
so there were
and you said it was super stressful, but like how did you keep like a positive attitude?
I lost. I was feeling a crap ton of emotions while trying to work. I had like a student next to me. He's like trying to talk to me, and I'm like, "Yo, bro, hey, how you doing? I'm stressed out. I'm gonna go for lunch." But I felt a lot of guilt because like a lot of people backed me up, or like, you know, they bought merchandise, they donated to the pot, they did like a lot of things for me. And it was a lot of people, you know, like a bunch of people were like, you know, vouching for me and did their best to get me in. So I felt really guilty, like, oh my God, I just made all these people waste this money on me, and I didn't even get in, and I feel really bad. And like, you know, at a certain point, I was about to like do something really dumb and like spend a lot of money on it. But I was like, no, that's not the point of this thing. So I held myself back, and I just held the L, and I was like, you know, it's all good. People really backed me up. And I think overall I'm at a better place than I was before I did this whole campaign. A lot of people like really backed me up, and like really like some people that I barely even talked to, like were like, yeah, I totally want to support you. And I was like shocked that they really wanted to, like, they cared about like me being a Marvel player and getting into this. So after a while, I kind of thought about that. I did drink a couple beers afterwards when I got home from work, and it helped calm me down. But after a while, I slept on it and really thought about it, that like, it's not, you know, this is not the end all be all for it. There's going to be other opportunities. I know Angelic's already scheming for an Infinite thing. There are going to be other tournaments. I still have a lot of work to do in like the Massachusetts scene. That's like what's really driving me. You know, this is like a nice perk, but like that's not really what I'm about. Like this like final like glorious like, you know, Danger Room Invitational isn't what defines me. Like I have so much more that I'm about that like really, you know, can speak way more for me than like getting this Danger Room Invitational. That would have like, you know, helped me like set up myself as like a brand, or like as a player, like made me a lot better, because I'm kind of whack, but I was hoping this to be like a stepping stone for me as a player. But in the end, like, I know that I have way more opportunities, and like it's no big deal. People like still like me. People don't hate me. I'm not trying to harbor ill feelings towards the other people that got in, and it's like it's cool. I'm just trying to have fun, and like that's it.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel you on the not wanting, like, I think most people see you as a content creator, and it's no offense to your tournament play or anything like that. And it would have been cool to see the scene reward not just tournament players. You know, it would have been nice to see like a contributor like Jonas get in, and like you as a content creator. Like it would have been cool to see that, hey, like the community will rally behind more than just players. And even though you guys didn't win and make it in, the community still like really rallied around you guys and fought really hard, and you guys were in it till the end. So I don't think there's anything negative to take away from that. And I'm glad to hear that you know, like you did what you had to do, and you talked yourself off the ledge of doing some stupid things, but you were able to, you know, just keep it rocking. And yeah, you know.
And for you, Jonas, like think about it like this: you prided yourself on all the things you've done for Marvel, like. Like I said, Danger Room doesn't define what you've done. Like getting in does not define your accolades, or like all the really cool stuff you've done for the community. Like,
yep,
all those things still exist. And so like, yo, just hang on to that stuff, because that stuff's super tight. And for like every other player like who didn't make it like get invited, like that does not invalidate you as like how strong you are as a player or what you've done for the community. It's just, you know, people voted you in, and like that's all. It really was like a social media campaign with some like monetary incentives, but like that does not take away from how good you are as a player. Like, you know, Ryan LV's not invited, like Evo Champions, F Champ, Flocker, they're not invited, KBR is not invited. Doesn't mean they're not good players. Does not mean you're like a cornerstone of the community. It just means you didn't get invited.
But this is nobody talks about the plus side of playing low tier characters like X-23. We know how to hold L's. Like, we've learned that.
To my heart.
Yeah, but honestly, on the flip side of all of that rallying for all the players who either made it in or didn't make it in, all of that rallying really contributed to our community as a whole. I mean, think about it. $9,400 was contributed to the pot bonus for the singles tournament of the Danger Room weekend. $4,000 was raised for the Last Doc Legends Marvel documentary. They're gonna, feature Danger Room. They're gonna talk about, our community, our game, and just this wild ride we've been on for Marvel 3, and then going into Infinite. $500 raised for a second stream for private training sessions and 1v1
I really wanted to be
sessions
on that.
for the stream. Exactly, and that type of thing contributes. That type of thing gives back to our community. In many more ways. People get to learn still. They get to spend this one-on-one time with these pros, with these top players. So on top of that, money was contributed to a future Danger Room event. Money is going towards the all random tourney, the Bomberman tourney, the Super Mario Maker Gauntlet. The whole event itself, in my opinion, very well rounded. Very interesting to start off with, right? This is the first go around, and look how successful it was. It got people moving, it lit the fire, and I think it's going to be awesome. So make sure you guys tune in. That's going to be May 12th through the 14th. It's going to be on twitch.tv/azangelic. Schedule's up on your screen right now. But yeah, honestly, RamBam, I love your mindset on it, and at the end of the day, we do this for the community, and that's with Danger Room, that's with us, that's with this podcast, that's with, the circuit all around. It's a community effort. But going into Infinite, it's like the promised land is there. And we've been doing all of this, and now we're going to have Infinite, which kind of leads us into our next topic. But any final words from the crew here on Danger Room? See, if you've been a little quiet about Danger Room, speak.
So I'm going to take full credit as Not Enough Damage as campaign manager.
Oh, yeah?
Absolutely. So when the opt-ins first started, I was hanging out with Eddie, and we were just on my porch just hanging out. And everybody was writing their opt-ins, and everybody's like, I want to be in Danger Room. I love Marvel, all this other stuff. And I'm looking at it. I'm telling Eddie, he's like, yo, Eddie, you got to write something. And Eddie's like, well, what the hell am I going to write? I'm like, hey, just pop off on everybody. So everybody's talking about oh, you should vote me because of all this stuff. I'm kind of like, yo, just start it off. Just tell them, look at the number next to my curly ring. What's up? And then just start talking smack to everybody. And that's what he did. And it just turned out, we were just kind of freestyling the entire thing, just trying to figure out what type of trash talk to say to everybody. And then he turned into a complete monster right after that, because right after then he just started rallying all this support from every nook and cranny in the FGC that he's known about and been a part of for the over a decade that he's been a part of it. And yeah, dude, that dude hustled really hard, and I'm really surprised that he got in on the first day when everybody had bombs. You dropped the craziest bomb that scared everybody, Ram. That was the funniest thing I think I've ever seen, where and Eddie and Ram were literally neck and neck within the last minute of voting.
Don't remind me, man. Don't remind me. That exact moment, when I think about, I almost made it into Danger Room by 100 votes, then lose by 2,000. I'm like, please, man. But that was crazy. I did not expect Eddie to come out with the bomb like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that we got organized early. I think that's the reason why he was able to kind of do that early on. And man, there was just so much stuff underneath, people just messaging each other on Facebook, just being like, hey, you got a spirit bomb, you got something in the works, what's good, or all this stuff. It was it's crazy. People were really hungry for this thing, and we've talked about it in the Marvel Live chat too, how it kind of brought out a little bit of a less favorable side out of the Marvel community. We're so tight knit, and we're not big enough to really pick favorites amongst all these awesome people that we're all kind of a part of, I put a lot of my effort into I put all most of my votes to Eddie, but at the same time it's kind of I'm really good friends with Static, Joey D's cool, I Heart Justice is cool. All those dudes are awesome players, awesome people. It's just it's hard to see people just claw at each other for this kind of thing. But the people who are really hungry to mobilize their scene really did work. And it made me happy to see that people were like really trying to kind of get their presence up. Like this is a learning experience for pretty much everybody involved. So it was fun, and I'm with Persia on this. Like this is already cool so far, and we've learned a lot, and it's just going to be even cooler next year. So I'm excited to watch this stuff though. Like I think Eddie's a dude who hasn't really like try to like grind the game as much, but if you put him in a room with all these top players, like that's a dude that'll learn, and I'd really love to see how much better he gets from an opportunity like this. Or maybe he might get worse.
I think this is going to be very, very crucial Evo prep for Eddie.
Yeah.
Totally.
This is the first time in my like 6 or 7 years of knowing this dude where he's actually trying hard. I'm not even like.
He's not joking.
I'm not joking. This is what's frustrating about this kid. This kid is so good, and he doesn't even. He just now bought a copy of his first copy of Marvel, like a few months ago, even though he's been playing since vanilla. Yeah, and like whenever we hang out, I'll barely get sets in with him. I barely will. But, like, when we do, it's always good games and all this other stuff. But, like, he really just plays other games and all this other stuff. But, you know, all this stuff has really gotten to kind of wonders. Like, man, he's now a sponsored player. Shouts to On Esports for picking him up. And now it's kind of gotten him to really think, it's like, okay, where's my place in this?
I mean, he's been trying to travel, and that's like, Eddie never traveled.
Mm-hmm.
He never traveled. Like, he went to Canada Cup last year. Like, he's gone. Like, was talking about trying to go to the Montana tournament.
Yeah.
And, like, it's like, dude, who is this guy? And I love seeing Eddie motivated because, like, I think it's a good look for the entire Southeast scene. Like, if you have this guy that, I mean, he's well respected by OGs as well as, like, the new guys, you know? Like, I feel like even, like, the young Zero players respect Eddie, you know?
Yeah.
And it's super cool to see him play. And care finally, you know.
Yeah, especially when you have newer players coming into the scene and like seeing that the top player like doesn't have to practice and he's good even though he doesn't travel and like it's hard to see the fact that that's all Eddie. That's not the norm. Like he is just that amazing, and so I think it's really cool that like he's really hyping everyone up, and you can really see a difference in kind of the mindset and the mentality coming out of Atlanta. Since he's been trying to like make his call outs and really start driving the scene. So I think everyone, like every scene really needs to have that one champion, and the better they are as a competitor, I think the healthier the scene is. And so I think it's all good for the Southeast.
And you bring up a good point here because this was something that Eddie and I talked about early. Eddie was kind of like, yeah, man, you should go for it too. I'm kind of like, we can't split the votes between us and expect both of us to get in or have a chance to even get in. Like, you really got to rally behind one dude. And me, like, yeah, I guess I've been kind of doing work in like a lot of other like outlets and whatnot. But for me, like seeing the fact that like Eddie's really been trying this hard and like, you know, he's been like second in the curly circuit. Now he's currently third. But I've never seen this from him, you know, and this is a dude that like kind of really got me into the scene and got me really motivated, taught me a bunch. So like, I'm kind of like, hell yeah, I'm supporting you, dude. Like, don't worry about me. Whatever happens to me, that's just on me. But let's get you in this. So I think it was such an awesome statement for the Atlanta scene to like be able to get him in as like the first person. So like, shout outs to everybody in ATL, Max, Renee, Kirk. Like all you, Mayhul, all you dudes, like, you know, coming in and just supporting and like putting our best player out there and giving him such a sick opportunities. Like it's gonna be awesome.
Dude, you know what I just realized? Like you were like, yo, me and Eddie both can't be in. We can't split the vote. And it's crazy because you say that and then Midwest had 3 players. I'm like, how did that happen? But then I'm like, oh, Kevin got automatically invited. Brandon Sack Alpha got all the votes, and then Joey just used all the money. And then I was like, and I was like, oh, that's the perfect scheme, you know? Like everybody gets in their own way. So like, kudos to you for having the foresight to realize like, yo, we can't split the votes like this. So like, I'll hold this L, but we need you to represent, you know? So
yeah,
good stuff.
That was super strategic. I respect it, and it works. Eddie's in there. But one final question about Danger Room before we move on, because we still have a lot to talk about, Infinite related stuff. Last question. Of the 16 eligible players that were up for the last 4 spots, if you could pick any of the 4 for the last 4, who would you guys have picked? I'm going to start it with RamBam, our special guest. You get to go first. So let me just list to you the 16 players that were eligible. Not Enough Damage, Ronan Healy, I Mash Buttons, Kyle P, Jabril, Flux, Killer Kai, Static Alpha, Apology Man, RamBam, Joey D, YLT Cole, I Heart Justice, SJ, Raid, and TA Wolf.
Oh, okay. So of that list, dang, obviously not picking myself. I'm gonna, just because he's the boy, also plays Hitbox and is on the Discord chat, I'm gonna give it up to my boy YLT Cole. He's a cool dude, did some work at Undefeated, and I like him. He's a cool guy, and I'm about giving the underdog some opportunities to really like shine and get some really good experience. So I'm gonna give it to Cole.
All right, and then the other 3. If you could pick all 4, that would have been
all 4.
Yeah.
Oh,
all
snap,
4 of the opt-ins or the
scrub.
open spots.
Okay, so I'll do Cole, Not Enough Damage, Jabril, and Jonas for that variety, for some Akuma, some Phoenix, right? I think that's a fun like mix of things. You got 2 cheap Zero players, some cheap Nova Virgil stuff, and then you got Jonas who deserves it and has been grinding.
All right, what about you, Kyle? Your pick?
So okay. Static Upper. Brandon Free. I mean, my votes went to Ram. I wanted to see him there. So RamBam. I don't want to slight my boy Jonas, but I really wanted to see I Heart Justice in there, and the fight for variety. I don't want to have 2 Phoenix Wrights because that's kind of weird. And I'd have to go through the list to pick out that 4. I think it'd probably be Wolf. But sorry, I'm getting attacked by a cat.
Cute.
Yeah, I think that's probably my 4.
All right. What about you, Mark?
Eddie Free. And like I said, I wanted the scene to reward not just players. I wanted them to reward community contributors, organizers. So I would have said Eddie. I would have said Ram, because of Ram's work that he's been putting out. I would have said Jonas because of him being a major contributor to not only our show, but then the Spectator's Guide. He started that Marvel Drive that we ran, and then also, all his work with First Attack. And then the 4th slot, honestly, I would say Apology Man, just because I do want to see him go up against some of I want to see him against Kevin. But I wish, I just want to say this. I wish Ryan LV was on this list. I wish he had applied. I wish he would apply.
That was the easy
he would have been an auto lock. Let's not lie. He would have been an auto lock.
Yeah.
And but it would have been really my last show was the show that we had with Ryan, and that on that show we were talking about having a social media presence, and we were all like, I wonder why we're going over this. Bam, Danger Room announcement, and it's 16 players vying over social media for a slot. And it would have been really interesting to see if he didn't get in, if he wasn't a lock-in, him trying to build a social media presence in order to vie, or just rely on the fact that I'm good, And it would have been super interesting to see that.
Yeah, totally. And Seif, what's your 4? Your 4 pick?
Right. This is like hella bias. Hella bias.
All right, let's hear it.
So, first of all, my dude Eddie, obviously, as his campaign manager / ghostwriter / training partner. I'm glad he's in. Duh. And second dude who made it in Static Alpha, 2/3 of EX White Girls. What's good? They both made it in. But yeah, obviously, I'm rooting for those two hella hard. Third, I gotta go with my fellow brown man, Apology Man. I was super hurt. Like some of my other votes went to him just because he had the most Twitter nominations in the phase preceding voting, and then he just like dropped off. And it sucks because if I'm talking about like pure skill, like this dude is like, you know, even with the opt-ins, like he's up there as like top 3, top 2 at the very least. Like after his performance at NCR where he beat Ryan OV in like one of the most hyped matches I think I've ever seen in like at least this year, and he was going toe to toe with Chris G there, like, and he's got a crazy social media presence, and he doesn't even have a sponsor. Like I just think this would have been an amazing opportunity for him to just bust out and be like, "What's up? I'm way more than just unblockables. I'm a really good fighting game player. What's good?" You know. So like, I'm sad to not see him make it through. Because I think that if there was one person that overall was like a complete package as far as like player, personality, and presence on social media, I think it was him out of everybody that was up for out of the remaining 4 slots. And my last vote is gotta go to Jonas because he's now on suicide watch, and my heart goes out to him. Like I can't see a fellow Tatsu man, you know, like just be down in the dumps like this. Like it's already hard enough playing that character. Like he is garbage. Like when we beat you with Akuma, let me tell you that we know deep down inside we outplayed you, and it's not easy, you know. And I would have loved to see some outplay from Jonas. Like I would have. That's my 4. And I hate picking favorites here. I know, and Marcus has said the same thing. Because, you know, it's like we're too small of a community to like not to say that we're small, but as far as like the players, like, you know, the people who go out to tournaments and compete and everything, like we just got love for all of y'all. You know what I mean? But
we know everybody. We probably have a story about the time we hung out with every single player on the list. You know,
right?
So it's like I can't like none of us said Wolf, and like he was number 5 for me. You know, like Esteban is
I said Wolf.
Okay, well you said Wolf, but he's like I'm the huge Esteban. Like me and him are homies, but like, hey, if I had to vote 4 people in, like he's like 4B, you know? Like,
4B,
like
yeah,
you know,
there's a rate check.
Exactly, and like so, like I was like, yo, man, it's between Raid and Jonas, and I love both these guys, but like I gotta go for Raid. But like I'm not gonna be sad if Wolf makes it, you know? Like how can I be sad? The homie made it.
Like,
you know?
I think a better thing would have been like, what are your bottom 4 slots? That would probably. We're not going to go into it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wow.
We're not going to go
right now because I can't.
I think we need to start getting to the infinite news, you guys.
Yes, please.
Let me just run through my 4. Would have been Raid. I did put in votes for you, so definitely Raid would have been up there. And TA Wolf, I actually would have liked, you know, him in there regardless of anything. I'm glad he made it, because Wolf, he's so humble. But I think people forget he has been in Evo Top 8 multiple times. He's, you know, been up there, and I think he deserves to be there. So it would have been Raid, Wolf. For, you know, comedy factor, Kyle P. Even though I think most of these guys would, you know, they don't fall for the gimmicks anymore. But just, you know, for comedy's sake. And Apology Man. I actually do want to see more of Apology Man because I think he's been playing differently lately, you know. Mm-hmm. And he's also been even showing up big in Smash, which is interesting. Yep. So he's been doing his thing, and you know, I've been enjoying watching him play, which, you know, maybe like a year ago I'd be like, Firebrand, but you know, he has a different type. I don't know. Watching him play recently has been refreshing, and I've been like watching him play. So yeah, that would have been my 4. Regardless,
wow, your East Coast allegiances have failed you.
Top 8 at Evo, and you're thinking of Fruitsy.
Oh, am I?
Yeah,
oh, damn.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I'm
Wolf
slightly
plays
racist.
Spencer Hager Doom.
Well,
Not all Mexicans.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh my god.
I did confuse him. Dang. I feel bad now. But I still like Wolf because Wolf gave us the best story during the Marvel donation drive.
Free.
Also,
the
the K-Brad impression, hilarious.
The best.
I haven't even heard that from
Oh
him.
my god. Yeah, the K-Brad story about quesadillas.
Well, yeah, let's move on, you guys. I'm ready to talk about some Infinite stuff. Yeah, we're moving on now. We had 2 trailers drop recently and a lot of information. 2.5. Well, 2 official trailers have been released. You know, we're going to talk a little bit about the story trailer, and then we're going to really dive deep into the gameplay trailer because we got a lot of information dumped on us. So yeah, actually, I have the story trailer now, so check it out.
All biological life must be exterminated.
Agreed. Allow me to show you.
Time, space, the mind,
the soul,
reality, power. A new universe shall be forged. Heroes of both dimensions. Welcome to ours. The Prince of Asgard has come home. Go, show him what we've made of you. Commander Redfield, you still dare challenge us? We are Ultron Sigma.
What's the biggest thing you ever killed with that bad boy, huh?
All right. Okay. Yeah, that was the story trailer. Woo, get hype. Woo, woo, woo. All right.
That was so hard to not just like in a world without like just being quiet for that long on this show is really hard.
It's true, especially when it's Infinite related. All right, so let's talk about the story first. Long believed rumors of Sigma and Ultron, you know, being the main boss are true. They've joined forces, merged together as one, did their little fusion dance or whatever, and now they're trying to, I don't know, take the world, right? I guess that's everyone's goal when it comes to this. They want to conquer Earth. But amongst the story trailer, we got to see some Hulk, Thor, Hawkeye, Chun-Li, Strider, some
raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon, Chris Redfield, and then Ultron and Sigma also, yeah, Mega Man X as well. So yeah, we got to see more characters. We got to see who else we can expect. It also announced the official release date being September 19th. Whoa! Yes. Who really would have guessed that? Let's be honest, because
super soon.
And then for sale, 3 different versions. Standard edition, $59.99. Pre-order to receive Warrior Thor and Evil Ryu premium costumes. The Evil Ryu costume is pretty sick too. I saw that one. I don't think
does that not come with all? Does that one not come with all 4 costumes? There's also there's Command X and That's only in the...
There's a deluxe edition.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, in the deluxe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had the standard, then the deluxe, $89.99. You get all 4 of the costumes, which include Thor and Evil Ryu, and then Gladiator, Hulk, and Mission Command X costumes. And you also get the 2017 Character Pass, which includes 6 DLC characters. So obviously, this is already showing us a little bit of what to expect with DLC characters, maybe new characters added periodically, kind of like how we have in Street Fighter V right now. Who knows? We'll see.
And the first one already been announced as Sigma, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes, that is true. And then the collector's edition, $199.99. Woo! Includes previous goodies, as well as 4 interlinking character models of Mega Man X, Chun-Li, Iron Man, and Captain Marvel, as well as LED-powered Infinity Stones.
Hype.
Yeah.
If you haven't been, they've been posting some like close-ups of the statue. The detail on those statues are so gorgeous.
Low key, I'm like, yo, I might actually
the fabric
$199. Just like, yo, let me put like $25 every paycheck. And
Captain Marvel looks ridiculously detailed.
I am broke as a joke, and I gave up some Marvel trips to make that happen. So like I gave up some Marvel 3 tournaments so that I could have
I'm thinking the same thing.
So what do we think about this cinematic trailer, the character reveals, all the information about the DLC, the different packages, the models? What do you guys think about it so far? I'll start it with our guest, of course. Gets the first seat as always. What do you think, Ram?
Yes. So I think it looks cool. I think it looks great. I like the model. Some people have some like real issues with how like Chun-Li and Morgan look. I think they look great. I'm not a super picky person when it comes to models, unless things look like disfigured. Actually, Chun-Li's legs looked a little weird. In the some like reveal, they look like chicken wings. That's okay. But I think the story is going to be cool. They said one of the like info dumps that they gave us was that it was about, it's like a 2-hour long cinematic story that's guided to like help bring new players in, and so like I'm really excited about that portion of it in terms of how they will like use that as like their tutorial training mode sort of thing, which is something that I wish if I was like a really strong programmer and I could mod the crap out of Marvel, I would create something like that made learning the game actually fun and like a creative like a mini game of itself. I'm excited for Captain Marvel. I think she looks cool. I want to play her combos. The story is going to be cool. Ultron Sigma is a pretty cool concept. And I'm hype. I'm hype as fuck.
Yeah, bleep. All right. And Mark, what do you think about cinematic trailers so far?
I mean, the thing that stood out to me, like, besides the characters, like, every character they announce, like, cool. Yeah, like, that's awesome. Like, I obviously there's some characters that I'd rather see, but, like, I'm not upset about any of the characters they've announced so far. That September 19th release date was like, whoa, like we haven't, at the time, hadn't seen any gameplay. And I literally had been telling everybody, like, I was like, I think the game's not going to come out till next year. And that threw me off guard. And I still think it's kind of soon, but I'm happy that the game is coming out this year. I just hope the game isn't rushed. And after seeing what we're going to talk about later, like I feel a lot better about the game. I did like a 180 on my feelings from once we got this cinematic trailer to the next trailer we got. So,
yeah. Cool. All right, Kyle, what do you think? Cinematics, story only so far.
I think that it is super awesome. One of the biggest complaints that everyone had from Capcom is that they wanted to release a full game, and they didn't want to run into another Street Fighter V situation. So the fact that, like, right out the gate, they're saying this is priority one. Like, there is a story, there's a reason for everything. It's going to be a full-featured game. It's not some hack-together alpha that you'll pay for and we build on or whatever nonsense people want to talk about. So I think that's really cool. I think it shows a lot of creativity in, or allows them to have a lot of creativity in the stages and stuff, because their main thing is that the worlds are literally colliding. So you have Asgard mixed with Mega Man X's training, not the training, but the intro stage. So that's the map they're playing on there. So I'm really excited to see like how they form these amalgamations of the two worlds and kind of bringing everything together. I think it makes for the coolest flavor we've gotten in a Marvel game so far. Of course, I'm more of a competitive person than a story mode, but I do think that this is going to go a really long way for our scene, and it's going to help more people buy the game and get into it. And you know, people can come for the story and then realize that they actually like fighting games and hang around and then get competitive. So I think it's all good. I'm super excited, and I think it looks great. And I'll shut up because I want to get to the next part.
Yeah, get to the gameplay. All right, Steve, your thoughts on the story?
So it reminds me a lot of. Have you ever played? Has anybody played that DS game Project Cross Zone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Project.
Yeah, like, yeah. I mean, whichever. Like, it kind of reminds me of that. Just like all the worlds sort of colliding, and I imagine there's going to be some pretty interesting dialogue between like these overlapping universes, just like that game had. And I'm like looking forward to see how like Mega Man reacts to freaking, you know, Rocket Raccoon or something like that. So like, I think that it has a lot of potential, A, and B, in the cinematic trailer, I see Sigmon stomping on Mega Man X's head. He looks weak. I'm really excited for that because I'm sick and tired of Mega Man X characters being broken in Marvel games. I'm good with that.
I think it's so hilarious. Like every Mega Man X fan like keeps pointing out that like so many of the press releases, it's like here's Mega Man getting punched in the gut,
yes,
stomping on him.
Give
like
me
he's
more
getting
of
beat
that.
up. He's getting beat up so much.
Yes.
Or like Capcom's like, don't forget, like we put you back in here, but we can take you out just as easily. Like, you know, don't get too comfortable.
Yeah, I mean that those are my two takeaways from it. Like honestly, most of the meat and potatoes that I was paying attention to was this pretty freaking cool leaked footage and this gameplay trailer, which we are about to get into right now, I imagine. Right?
Yes, we are. Indeed.
Go ahead.
Awesome. Yeah, and then, you know, as far as my takeaways from the story trailer, I like it. I think it's interesting. I think so far the story is creative. I like that, you know, Ultron Sigma already popping off. You see Chris Redfield trying to step up, all buff for no reason. It's just looking good already, and you know, I'm a huge fan of Marvel, obviously, and a big fan of the cinematic universe, and just knowing that Marvel is, you know, getting really involved with the story and adding their cinematic touch to it, and then kind of bringing, you know, our favorite Capcom characters into the mix too. Now we get to experience that same type of, you know, cinematic universe even for the Capcom side. So I'm interested in seeing how all of that works together and how they, you know, make it a full story. So I guess we'll see once the game drops. I'm excited. Okay. And I'm more excited for the gameplay trailer. So we're going to play that for you guys right now. And then we're just all going to freak out. So let's do it. Gameplay trailer initiated.
Woo!
I'll take you on. Now let's do this!
You are weak! I will eliminate all obstacles. Thunder and lightning!
I've got an arrow with your name on it.
Power stone! Time for overkill!
Hold that thought! Fire sale! Pound! And the full court! I can do this all day!
Resistance is futile. Face stone activating! Enjoy the gift of fate, burn! This is the power to control everything! You are a waste of atoms. Serve me, Lord Light! I shall bless you with it. Let it
All right. Oh my God. Can we just... Okay, I need to breathe because I love it so far. Every time I watch the trailer, and trust me, I've watched it so many times by now, as I'm sure all of you guys have watched it. I love it. I love the directions going so far. I can tell by watching it that it's going to have, you know, not so much an exact Marvel 3 feel, but some of the combos look similar. You know what I mean? The style that the combos actually are. Obviously, visually, it's a totally different direction, which we'll talk more about. But aside, you know, from those few things, we also had a very interesting article from Game Informer that dropped 50 details about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Now, we're not going to go over all 50 details. If you haven't read the article by now, you should. We'll try to get a link out to you guys soon. But we had some really interesting details that we're going to know and we're going to talk about. But first things first, I'm going to go ahead and kick it around the table first about what you guys think about gameplay, and then we can trickle down from there into our details. So, as always, RamBam, first on the hot seat. Gameplay, the whole shabam. This trailer's sick. Ah! Tell me about it.
So I think the gameplay looks super cool. I like the combos already. I think the one thing that's kind of bugging me a little bit, which I think will hopefully kind of come together a little bit more, is like animations are looking a little stiff in terms of how like limbs move and how the opponent like reacts when they get like hit. And so that one part is like kind of irking me a little bit, but I think the fluidity of like the combos and like how you can sort of chain moves and like cancels and special cancels and how you just construct things, that part like makes me really excited. And so like at first glance, when we first saw the like Captain America combos with Iron Man and Morgan, that stuff was looking hella dry and I was like, oh no. But then this, like with all like the tag-in combos and everything, I was like, okay, this is my stuff. So I got really excited when I saw this new gameplay trailer. But once those like animations kind of smooth it out a little bit, it feels like everyone's got like rigor mortis a little bit on the limbs. So I'm waiting for them to like kind of like loosen up a little bit. But then after that, I'm ready to play. I'm so ready to play.
Yeah, right? Me too. What about you, Mark? Initial thoughts. Lay down.
Where was Spencer? That was my initial thought. Where is Spencer? Who do I have to bribe to get the confirmation? I won't tell anybody. Let me know, Damon. Let me know, Peter. Like, just let me know. I need to see my boy in this game. But besides that, like, it was really cool to see. Like, I'm not necessarily a fan of the more movie-like look. I did like the comic book look. But it was cool to see the updated properties on moves, and like I thought Hawkeye's level 3 looked awesome. I liked that. I like seeing Chris back. I like seeing that he has like a little gauge in the, I guess in the HUD that we were trying to discuss what it.
I've heard in an article since then that it is Magnum and that he has to reload after 3 shots.
I knew it.
And it's supposedly super punishable.
Okay. And then I mean, we got to see Ultron looked really cool. Like you got to see some of the Infinity Stones and like some of the box. Like when I saw that, I was like, yo, this is for every single grappler. Like any big body, if they put that box on you, you're gonna have to hold this mix up, and like that was super cool to see. So like I like the uniqueness that the stones could potentially bring into the game, and like kind of utilizing them to make up for some of the lack of tools that your character doesn't have, or the lack of tools your character has. and like kind of to get rid of the fact that, hey, we don't necessarily have assists in this game the same way. But yeah, like everything I saw, I was like, yes, like I'm ready. September 19th, like announce Spencer, and then September 19th. That's all I care about between now and then is the Spencer announcement date. Like, let me see gameplay footage of Spencer, and then I can hibernate. I can go into coma to the 19th of September. Like, that's all. Like, I'm ready to play this game.
Sweet. What about you, Kyle? What do you think?
All right. So how long do we have? We got 3 hours. All right. So, real talk. Like the story trailer came out, and everyone went mad negative. Like just everyone nonstop going on about how bad it looked. And I was trying to keep positive. I was like, come on, guys, we haven't even seen the game yet. But like, it was really starting to drag me down a little bit. And so when this and there was also I think a 3-minute leak of gameplay footage from a media release that they had at some point. So those and I was like, oh my God, it's so good that to get that boost, because it really juiced me back up, and because I was starting to get that doubt creeping in. And so to finally get to see actual gameplay and get to answer some questions about how tags work, when you can tag and everything like that, it's just so good. On specific stuff, we got verification that you can tag off of the special and neutral, so that is pretty much assists now. In the other, it wasn't in that gameplay trailer, but the other leak, you see Ultron do his little dive command grab and tag into Strider, and then he continues grabbing him and doing the throw animation while you're controlling Strider.
You actually do see it in this. You can do it off of supers too. So like Chun-Li did her like lightning leg, and then Hulk came in and he did his charge up punch, and then he did super after that. So you can, and the other gameplay trailer shows like the meter and like the HUD too, and they do it for no additional assist cost or no additional meter cost. So you could like do super, and you can bring in your other character before the super is finished, and that character, the first character, will hold him in place till it's done. So seems to be a ton of potential in what this game will allow us to do. So expect TODs week 2.
Yeah, Wandles and I were having a discussion. I mean, essentially everyone now gets a 1 meter safety HC, so you don't have to worry about. It's going to be a lot easier to be more fluid with your team, and not have to worry about your meters so much, which we now do only have 4 meters instead of 5. But I don't know. There's so much to talk about, not enough time. I think the one other takeaway I had from it. So the story mode mentions 6 characters. Rocket Raccoon doesn't show up in the gameplay trailer, meaning that it's 5 plus an Infinity Stone. So I'm curious whether or not that means that the rest of the reveals are going to be 5 characters apiece for the final 3 Infinity Stones, which will bring us around to what, 25, 30 characters? I think it's 29 or 30 before the DLC. Because I know a lot of people have been talking about, oh man, if we only have 12 characters at the start of the game, it's going to be horrible. But I think that's the most ridiculous kind of argument you can have when clearly there's still a lot to reveal about this game. So that is completely non-factual, based on just my thoughts. Maybe we'll get a big like stone reveal. And I do want to know, what is everyone going to call the box? I've heard Shame Cube, and I think Shame Cube is my favorite thing for the space major, because box is just a little too vague. Does anyone have anything better than Shame Cube?
Let's call it the box for now.
I actually like Shame Cube, so I'm down for that. But really, it just depends on what Yipes calls it, because then everybody else is just going to fall in line. Let's be honest.
tell Yipes to call it the Shame Cube. How about that?
Sounds good.
I think the 1 point. So this is the first time we got to see how the major versus minor stone powers work. And in part of the article, we did get some answers about what the button layout is going to be. So it is light punch, light kick, heavy kick, stone, and tag. So it is going to be 6 buttons, essentially Marvel. And everything that I've seen and heard makes it sound like we do still get wave dashing. So I'm assuming that still means that we have button dashing, which I think that was a big thing I was worried about. I didn't want to try and play Marvel double tapping everything. That sounds, even on hitbox, that sounds like death. So I'm pretty excited about that. But for the stone mechanic, it's kind of like the Street Fighter 4 Ultra. So you take damage and it goes up. But anytime you also use the stone power, it'll give you a little bit more. So I guess we didn't get an answer whether or not you only get one major stone activation per match or not. So I guess that'd be something to know for later. But it seems like that's going to be reasonable. And when somebody dies, you get 50 meter, meaning that it is pretty much your comeback mechanic in the game. But I don't know. There's just so much cool stuff. Hulk has a wall jump now. When he does Gamma Charge up, he doesn't just recover all the way down. He does that cool. He's got that little kick follow up. Strider's got an air super now. Ouroboros is 1 meter. Hawkeye's got a lot of really cool new arrow tricks. And he looks like Wesker, so Wesker's still in it. That's cool too.
Chris's ice grenade is a capture state now. What?
Yeah, you don't have to do bad, weird combos just to make his super hit right now, which is awesome.
Thor has a level 3.
Yeah, that level 3 is actually really cool. Like the Super Thunder. Thor gets to throw his hammer now. Like in the other leak, you get to see him charge it up, and then he throws the hammer itself. So that always bothered me that he never actually threw the hammer.
What's Hulk has a new super too?
Yeah, Hulk gets pretty much a power wave pretty much. From,
and doesn't Chun get like an air super? I thought.
Yeah, like Simbukaku. I don't know, her little rising
Fang.
Rising Fang. I stole it from Iron Fist. I don't know. There's just so many cool things. I probably like it's what, like 5 minutes of footage, and I probably watched it 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I've probably watched it every day since it's been announced. So I've at least seen it 7 times.
Oh, and I will say that Ultron looks OP as all get out right now. I think that he's going to be.
Raise of hands for everyone playing Ultron day 1.
Yo, can we? Yo, what is everybody playing? Like if the characters that have been announced that we've seen gameplay, it kind of sucks that we haven't seen like the first 6 characters gameplay footage. But if the game came out today with just these characters, who is everybody playing?
Ultron.
I'm doing Captain Marvel.
And there's 2 characters, guys. Come on.
Yeah, what's the team? Who's your point?
Captain Marvel's my point, and I'm gonna go with Iron Man, my second.
I think I'm probably Ultron Iron Man or Ultron Strider, because I think repulsor array, having that in neutral and then tagging is going to be super gross. So
I'm right there with you.
I don't know. I haven't seen who really has like good high-low mix-ups, but I want to lock people down and then hit them with the high-lows. So I think that's maybe Iron Man Strider or Ultron Strider.
For me, it's probably either Chris Thor or Chris Iron Man, just because Iron Man, like they said something about giving him 2 new moves because he kind of felt too, what do they say, master of kind of like Jack of all trades. So
right, so they
sounded like Taskmaster to me, and I was like, I'm gonna play.
Well, they said that they wanted to solidify his keep away, so he's got repulsor array, I think, instead of repulsor blast, and they said he has something called smart mine, is the new thing for Iron Man. So we'll get to see those at some point, hopefully.
So yeah, for me, probably Chris Iron Man or Chris Thor, one of those 2.
All right, what about you, Steve? Day 1 team, if it were to come out today.
I mean, I was with Kyle on that one. Like, seeing that Ultron kind of had his like mini bolts of Baltac assist.
Hang on, restart. I had to mute you during the thing because it was clicking again.
The heck, really?
You're good.
Yeah, I don't know. Your push to talk's not working, but you're all good now. Go.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was with Kyle earlier where he said Ultron Strider. Just seeing that Ultron was probably the only character that had a pretty assist-like move that would be taggable into, and it just seemed like it had a lot of synergy with like Strider teleporting, above you, and you have to pick sides, and I mean that's what I would go for now. But I'm not super sold on anything yet till I see Dante.
Thank you. That's what I'm waiting for.
I have to. I have to. And that character is going to be an investment, or at least I hope it is, because Marvel 3, there were so many. It took me forever to learn that character, and I started from like the beginning, and I was garbage with him for years till like I started doing damage with him. So like I'm looking forward to see what happens, what their take is there, and I'm hoping to God it isn't like the new DMC and they're just keeping it to Devil May Cry 3.
Dude, I never even thought about it too. That's gonna be so sick to play a character that has like hella moves. So you can just tag off at anything.
Yeah.
Holy crap, man!
I think it could be a sick point.
Yo, Dante into whoever. Oh my god, that sounds awesome.
Follow behind some missiles. Do your own thing. You got plans.
People were worried about the game like being too simple or dumbed down, and how like there was all this stuff about down punch being DP moves and stuff like that. But I mean, Ultron alone, he can call 3 different drones. He's got like an air swipe move. He has some weird like dark hole thing that he does on top of his command grabs. So like already that's like a 6 or 7 move character before supers. And I don't even think that he's meant to be like a crazy move character. So,
dude, freaking like Strider Orbs being level 1 is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like,
that's
ridiculous.
It's gonna be nuts.
It didn't look like Orbs did chip damage. So like level 1's reasonable. It's what it should have been.
Oh, dude, I can't deal with the not chip out kill though. Like we that's the whole point of playing Chris. Like I want to do all this chip damage that I'm not going to hit you. I just want you to be annoying and keep away. So
now that you mentioned that too, I think one of the coolest changes that's going to be really interesting for zoners is the fact that in that Game Informer article they mentioned that push block when timed perfectly is going to be able to reflect projectiles. What?
Yeah.
Why is it in Marvel 3? Why is it in Marvel 3?
It's gonna be interesting to see.
I'm excited. I think that the only thing Marvel has needed is some kind of just guard mechanic of some kind. So I think that'll be pretty cool. And the push block is really different in Infinite too. It looks like it's on some kind of cooldown timer. Because it didn't seem like people were abusing it, and it pushes really far now. So
it might use a resource.
It didn't. I watched for it. I watched for it in the leak video, trying to see what if there was any kind of cost, and it didn't look like there was any meter or anything. It seemed like people just couldn't do it all the time. So I don't know if maybe there's just a certain window where it has to recharge or something.
All right, so I'm just going to keep the ball moving here because there's some points that we haven't touched on, and this is going to pull from the list of points from the 50 details about Marvel Infinite from Game Informer. We kind of talked about a few of these, but I'm just going to touch base on them. The controls, moving away from Marvel 3's light, medium, heavy S button, and more towards Marvel 2 style of light attack, heavy attack, or light punch, heavy punch. Light kick, heavy kick, whatever. And then the 2 buttons for the stone and the
On that real quick, there was a lot of people were worried. It's like, oh well, now we don't have medium punches. But keep in mind that we really only had 4 attacks in Marvel 3, light, medium, heavy S. But now we have, since our launcher is crouch heavy punch, that means that forward, back, standing, jump, heavy punch. Essentially, S became an actual normal instead of just a single move. So even though, like, technically we might have lost our mediums, we get so many extra possibilities, an entire normal's worth of moves there. So I'm excited for that.
Right. Yeah, totally. And I think it's actually good, too, because it's going to end up bringing some of the, old Marvel 2 players out again, I'm sure. Moving down the list here, still, we have the number of meters reduced down to 4 from 5. We mentioned that earlier. You can swap characters more than once per combo. You can break out of a combo by holding down and the tag button, but it costs 2 meters to do so. So Marvel with a combo breaker. Let's talk about that for a second. What do you guys think? I'm going to, of course, start it with our guest. Marvel with a combo breaker. Discuss.
I mean, it'll make everyone happy that you know, there's no more like this idea that you guarantee a combo to death, which I already don't think that this game is designed to do that. So, like, if they're gonna scale down the damage,
this game has so much creativity, like already in what we've seen. I will be amazed if TODs aren't in this.
Yeah, I think you're kind of right. So I'm hoping that they're trying to prevent TODs, because now that there's only 2 characters, you have you only have to survive 1 incoming mix-up rather than 2, so that's like even cheaper. So I would assume they would scale the damage back, which would mean that combo breakers are like an added bonus onto like scaling down the damage, which means that combos feel less satisfying. But I've never played a game that had combo breakers in them. I like dabbled in KI for like half a second, and I don't know. It's like I'm not crazy about it. I like different defense options. Like, just get good at blocking, man. Just let the guy got the hit. Let him have it.
I do think real quick it's worth talking about how the actual mechanics of it work. So you spin 2 meters, and your other character comes in, and you have control of that, but your first character doesn't leave. It's not like a Guilty Gear burst where it throws you back into neutral and you're playing your other character. Essentially, it turns a combo into an assist punish for 2 meters, and then you have to stop them from killing your character. So I think that part is actually the coolest part.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, because I'm not to get ahead of Sam, but they said their happy birthdays are still possible, but but they won't do extra damage on the secondary character as before. So like in my mind, this scenario, what would happen is you do the combo breaker, or I think what it's called is counter switch, is what it's actually called.
Yeah. Counter switch.
And so now they're no longer attacking the point character. He's not taking full damage. He's taking a percentage of damage. And you, as the new point character, have to stop him from essentially doing more damage on your character. So he's not going to take extra damage. So I wonder, like, is this their closest approximation to happy birthdays? Because I guess that makes sense why they have to scale the damage down and not do extra. Because otherwise, anytime you use 2 bars, you're guaranteed to, like, lose a character.
Right.
Like, him going from taking 100% damage to like 150 is like, that's going to kill anybody. So I do like that switch. And I do, like Kyle said, there's a sense of urgency because you're bringing in a character and forcing you bring in a character for 2 bars, and you have to deal with the person attacking your assist or, your secondary character right away. But then I think the other cool thing about this is, in anime games, there are, as people were saying in chat, they're burst baits. So you do combos where you're baiting a burst. So you maybe stop your combo at a specific point where a lot of people burst, and you bait it out, and you still get you basically reset and get a second combo going. So it'll be interesting to see if that is possible in this game. If it's basically like, I'm gonna stop this combo mid use 2 bars, and I'm immediately attacking the character coming in. Like things like that. If that's because essentially, I'm guessing if you're holding down the tag button, then that character's going to come in maybe once you hit the ground, or I don't know how that works, but it'd be interesting to see if that is something that is possible in this game.
Yeah, for sure. And did we get everyone's opinion? Seif opinion on a combo breaker, a burst, a way out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Marcus on this one. Like, if there was an animation for a burst that was to be baited out, I think that would be really cool. Otherwise, it would be kind of like one of those like weird, like, games of chicken during a combo, and that would be like a little too hard to bait. Like, trying to bait like a push block mid combo is like kind of weird. It's like too hard. So like, but who knows? Maybe you kind of need something that guaranteed, because like if push block is on a cooldown, when like that was like one of the most important defensive mechanics in Marvel 3. Like, who knows how easy it is to like open people up and like get your stuff started and start like putting them in the blender, So, like,
and
I'm down with it either way. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't mean to cut you off either, but like the fact that you can do a special or a normal in the air and bring in the other character must mean that you might be able to tag from the air. Like, you may not have to be grounded in order to hard tag. Or bring a secondary character in tag, or whatever they want to call in this game. So maybe you can get like a bait where you basically force them to bring in the second character, and you can start a combo on them too. So like the potential of this game right now, like, you know, granted, we don't know if this is going to be in the final product, but I'm really liking everything that we've seen so far.
So by the mechanics that we know now, you can get a hit on a character, and you're beating the crap out of him. You super jump, he tag counters or whatever they call it, and then
counter switch.
So the other character comes in, at which point you do a super, like in the air, and then tag your second character. And while your first character is still supering his second character, you're attacking the first character. You're attacking their secondary character to keep them from stopping you from killing them. Like
that's
all four
so
characters
sick,
on this
dude,
screen.
right?
That sounds so
sick.
good. Like if that's even remotely possible, like I am. I'm.
Like yeah, like the potential of that, and just like even like think of team compositions. Like you might want to play your assist character first, so that way you have, you know, an option that, hey, this is a lot of lockdown. So like, yo, I'm gonna do Repulsor with Iron Man, then bring in my point character, or yo, I'm gonna play Dante first, and I'm gonna do Missile, and then bring in my second character. So like, just like, it's crazy to think about what this game can be like. And like we're like nerding out over it, and I love it. And like I miss this so much about Marvel 3, and like, you know, we still did it in Marvel 3, but like the unknown and everything, I'm super pumped for this game.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting times, and you know, this is just the beginning. We still have so much more to look forward to, so much more to learn about and hear about. I'm just gonna finish up our list of notable details here. Advancing Guard returns, and you can now reflect projectiles if timed correctly, but this doesn't work on beams like Iron Man's Unibeam. Wave dashing is still a thing.
Did the note say that it just doesn't reflect, or it doesn't work on beams? Was the wording on that he used?
Doesn't work.
It just says
it's not used.
It won't
says doesn't work.
Beam back.
I'm thinking it might be like if you do like certain counter certain moves with Taskmaster, it just hits it into the next projectile or something like that. So like with Iron Man, it just kind of nullifies the Unibeam. But if you did Taskmaster combo on like Chris Gunn's, not Magnum, his machine gun, or like Taskmaster arrows, you're reflecting the first one into the next one. So I guess it depends. Like a single shot from his reflector would send it back. So I'm guessing this will work the same way.
Yep, and then we also have wave dashing returns, but according to Capcom, it's more effective to let the dashes play out, whereas obviously we use wave dashing in Marvel 3 currently to just do whatever we want movement-wise and pay no regard to physics. But yeah, but it's good to know that we can still, you know, dash and cancel the dash. Obviously, that's a huge thing, kind of always been a thing. Then each Infinity Stone has its own bonus ability and super, which can be activated when a new meter is half full for a short duration, or when it's completely full for a longer duration. Kind of like Street Fighter 4, right? When the meter would go up a certain way, it would do a certain amount of damage. Whatever. You get the point. So those were the notable details, but like we said, you guys should check out the Game Informer article. It has 50 very interesting details, and a lot of that information, you know, came from Capcom themselves, Mike Evans and Combo Fiend. So yeah, that's some details for now. We've talked a lot. We're pretty close to the 2-hour mark for the show, but yeah, we talked a lot. There's a lot to talk about as far as Marvel Infinite. We got to see so many things, the game's UI, the new attacks, the new properties, updated supers, dead characters stay out on the field, interesting, multiple normals now OTG, tag and assist mechanic, which we've talked about a lot already, and then the combo breaker mechanic. So yeah, lots of information.
Can we end with what's the coolest rumor you've heard, but it has an unconfirmed rumor at this point? What I want to hear what
unconfirmed rumor. Yeah, I like that. Let's kick that around. RamBam, you're first.
Dang, I was really hoping you didn't shoot me first, because I am not like a rumor person. I like to just experience things as they come. So like when movies come out, I don't watch trailers. I just like, oh, that's a movie I want to see based on like whatever information. So I kind of like to block my eyes and ears for like information and news and rumors. I'm just my rumor, if I could play, is just like hopeful characters that are coming out. There was like a recent leaked list. Like there's like a million and one like leaked lists of like random like NeoGAF posters or like GameFAQs like forum posters who are saying this is the leaked list. And there's a bunch of random like cool stuff that are in there, but I hope someone cool like Gene from God Hand does like a random PS2 game that like never had a sequel. Like that character was dope. I hope he's in the game. That's the best I can say.
All right. Mark, rumors?
Actually, I'm pretty much just like Ram. Like I'm not necessarily a rumor person, so I think I'll have to go the same route and say something about the leaked character list I've seen. And I'm not necessarily like I didn't play Tatsunoko, so I'm not sure how I feel about it. But seeing like potential giant characters in the game, I guess that could be cool because I don't know what that like. I know that was a negative thing for TVC players, but I'd be interested to see how they pull it off for Marvel. So what was it like? I don't know the Capcom side, but I think they were saying Fing Fang Foom or something like, or whatever.
Yeah, in that leak list, it was Rathalos from Monster Hunter and Fing Fang Foom.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see giant characters, I guess, in this game. I guess another one would be like people have been saying like a lot of the Fox characters, so like the X-Men characters and Fantastic Four characters being the DLC characters. So it'd be cool to see. I'm a Fantastic Four fan, mostly for Doctor Doom, but I'm a fan. That's the comic book that I read all the time, and so seeing some of those characters show up would be really cool.
Sweet. And Steve, what about you? Unconfirmed rumors?
So I've definitely heard my fair share of rumors, especially while I've been out at West Coast for a while. Like those dudes love to talk. God, there's like, don't get them to sign anything. But okay, like probably the one that I heard that I was really excited about, and I'm pretty sure this is gonna happen because this has been in a lot of lists and everything. But the dude who told me was basically like, no, this is like absolutely a thing. I've seen it in like person. But I'm kind of like, why are you telling me this? But anyway, Jeddah from Darkstalkers is definitely gonna be in the game. He's the vampire dude with the freaking sight. And what I thought was really cool was that they mentioned that he has a move that's sort of like a spinning Tatsu-esque sort of move that is mad plus on block when you tag in from it. That's all I needed. So like you gave me Tatsu and you're giving me Dante, like I'm gonna be a happy guy come.
Sweet. And Kyle, I know you brought it up.
Yeah, I was actually pretty disappointed. I was expecting more from everyone else. So all the stuff that's been going around the chat, which I guess they haven't been reading. I have heard Jeddah as well. And for anyone that hasn't played Darkstalkers, he's pretty much a male Morgan. Plus, he's got some cool like trap projectiles. Like he'll throw out a little spinning thing that'll sit on the screen for a little bit. You may know him from the super where he pumps up a female character's breasts and they explode. So there you go. But he does have like Morgan's same dash mechanics and stuff like that. I've heard that a certain red winged Firebrand character is going to be in there. I've heard on Stone Leaks that the reason that the bodies are staying on is because you can actually revive them with certain stones, and that one of the stones will let any character have astral vision, which I'm super stoked for.
Any character
that's crazy.
has astral vision.
Yeah, what I heard was, imagine Firebrand doing his super where he calls in his helper ×2. So 4 Firebrands on the screen just going ham.
Bionic arm from both directions?
Yeah, 4 directions. So.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah, that sounds insane.
I'm so sad.
I'm excited. Oh, why can't it be September 19th already? Rumors, God. ever since even before Infinite got announced, I felt like I was hearing rumors on rumors on rumors. I wish they were all true, honestly. Every time I hear a rumor or a leak, I'm like, I hope this is true. That would be awesome.
And I have heard that Dante is in it, and it is not remake Dante, but
my man.
Yeah, I've heard the same too, but I'm still holding out for hope.
Yeah, right.
Just in case something screws up and it's like, no, last minute.
Just like me, and I want the Xbox version, or the Bionic Commando version. I don't want the red hair, the ginger Duke Nukem looking Spencer. I want the one from Marvel 3.
Word.
Oh, okay. We're gonna act like we're not hyped about Spencer.
No.
Just me. Okay.
Spencer.
Okay.
He's my side character. I'll be real. I don't play Spencer.
So you're saying not Nathan Rad, but
No. I want the dreadlock Spencer. I don't want the one that was the alt costume, the one with the glasses and the red hair. That's the original Spencer. I don't want the original.
OG. All right.
Yeah, I want the remake Spencer.
All right. Well, I hope that works out for you, Mark.
Oh yeah,
that
2v2 would be
so
super sick. 2v2, where you could come in off of assist, or like any move. That would be so sick too. You're right. I forgot about that. 2v2 mode.
Yeah, I heard about that hella early too. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be.
That would be so sick.
That'd be crazy.
My! I gotta go.
I think the most interesting rumor I heard that I wake up praying every morning that it's true is that we might have X-Men DLC.
Yeah.
I hope it happens. I feel like that would be perfect. I mean, that would probably be the only time I'd be excited for it, DLC in general. But hey, let's make it happen, you guys. I know politics are a thing, but
the politics behind it, I believe, from what I heard, was that they're waiting for the Logan movie to be out of circulation in theaters because that was the last thing tying those characters to any sort of licensing agreement. So once that's done, then Capcom's able to work their magic and then get the rights to those characters to put them out. So I'm hoping that works out since Logan was a dope movie. Everybody should go watch it, and now it's kind of over and done with. So yeah.
Yeah, totally. I think this is going to round it out for our show tonight.
Tonight. It's so easy just to talk for this forever.
Yeah, we could definitely talk about Marvel Infinite, this news, all the theory fighter that we come up with, just off of 10 minutes or less of footage that we've seen all together. But hey, we're excited. I think that's a unanimous decision here on the show. We're excited for Infinite. I personally feel great about it from what I've seen so far, and I just want to see more. I need to see more so I can confirm how excited I am about it. I'm going to kick it around the table for some closing words and some sign-offs. RamBam, of course, on the hot seat first. The floor is yours. Let people know where they can find you. Let them know what's going on. And any shout-outs.
Oh, I got a lot of shout-outs. The list is it's like a doctrine. Let it roll out. So first of all, you can follow me on Twitter at RamBam. It's right there on the graphic. It's 2 R's because someone else is RamBam on Twitter. I'm going to sue them. So follow me there on Twitter, and you can see all my posts, the dogs, other videos. I'm gonna start putting out more videos on Twitter rather than YouTube because I think that circulates a little bit better. But try to use those both together. Big shout outs to a lot of people from the New England, Massachusetts Marvel scene. You guys hold me down, and I wouldn't probably be on this place. Or wouldn't be on this TV show or this podcast if it wasn't for having a strong scene. So shouts out to Lucky D. Lucky D is the coolest guy in the world. He's really strong, Dawson player from Street Fighter 4 and 5. His company, the Traveling Controller, he literally brings setups to different venues because everybody knows they have those venues that they demand people to bring setups. This guy literally created a company where he brings the setups to all the venues, and he drives from Massachusetts to New Hampshire to Rhode Island to Western Mass, and this dude is grinding hard. And so the Massachusetts New England scene would be nowhere without him. So big shouts out to him. The Massachusetts players like Evasion, Evie, he supported me during the campaign. Everyone who supported me during the Danger Room campaign, you guys are super cool. Game Underground, you guys are amazing. Jamie, who else we got? The Goon Squad. I'm gonna stop it there because they're mad funny.
All right, cool. Sweet. And Kyle, any signing words, signing off, shout outs?
Yeah, I mean, shout outs to everyone for all the hard work for Danger Room. That my feed was absolutely ridiculous. And shout outs, I've got some new plans in the work. I won't be doing very much Marvel traveling, but in preparation for Infinite, I am working on some hopefully hype new things to help out all of the lab techs out there. So I'll try and hopefully have some stuff for that. And I also, because of that, I probably won't be streaming Marvel 3. Before I had before I knew September, and it was just like, oh, it's going to happen sometime in the future. Like, that was fine. But now that I know I've got 5 months before I'm going to be labbing 30 new characters, I need some better tools than what I have. So that is going to be my life for a little bit.
All right. And Mark, shout outs? Any final words?
Shout outs to you guys. I'm super happy. Like, I wasn't even gonna be here until Marvel Infinite information came out, and then it came out, and I'm like, yo, I'm back. So shout outs to Ram for doing Ram and Raid. Shout outs to both those dudes for doing so well, and in the Danger Room voting, and just shout outs to everybody that did make it through, and shout outs to Ryan LB sparing everybody by not entering. And I guess I don't know. I'm kind of like Kyle. I don't know when the next tournament I will be at. I'm trying to see if I go to CEO, but it's super expensive to fly there from Kansas City, so I might be MIA till Infinite comes out, or even a little bit after that. I'll be grinding here, but I might not be able to go out to big events till next year, so we'll see. So,
all right. Well, we'll keep an eye out. And Steve, any final words, man?
Yeah, sure. So for those that kind of been in the know, or for those that don't know, I've been in Georgia for the past few weeks, and I'm going to be moving out of California to come back over here, kind of back home. And I wanted to give... Yeah, I kind of want to give a shout out. I went over to a local not too long ago, and I want to give a shout out to General Reaction for finally, like, he made it to grand finals of his local. He 3-0'd DapVip really convincingly in losers finals, and I was in grand finals winner's side, and I managed to win the tournament, which is cool. But at the same time, I'm really proud of this dude because it was the first time he's ever been in the money at like any tournament, and this dude's been coming out for like ever. So I want to give him a really big shout out. Shout outs to all the people involved with Danger Room. I think this has been a fantastic, sort of community experience for everybody to kind of like figure out what they want to, who they want to be in this community. And even on a bigger scale, I want to give a huge shout out to the people who have been kind of putting together, everybody involved with the Curly Circuit. There's been, Angelic's been probably one of the most like open-minded dudes, just trying to hear as much as possible as far as feedback goes on like what's working, what isn't working. We are everybody's listening, everybody's trying to make this better. But for those of you like who may have complaints and whatnot, I'll just go ahead and say that like from a local standpoint, like the Marvel scene could not look any brighter than it has been for like years. Like Georgia now has like, I think had like 4 or 5 different events that were part of the Curly Circuit. Like a lot of people are starting to come out and play Marvel at events and like compete. It's never been like, it hasn't been like this in a really, really long time. I know Georgia isn't the only scene that it's affected like this either. So I think that like from that standpoint alone, I feel like it's a success. And I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody who put that all together. And here's to next year, with Infinite coming along, like it's going to be so much, it's going to be popping. And like, I can't wait for the finals. Like this is such a sick year going into Infinite. Like I'm just hyped, and I'm super thankful to be a part of the community that's like helping make this all together, no matter how little of a part I'm able to contribute. So yeah.
Sweet.
But real quick, because we didn't get a chance to really talk about it. For anyone listening, if you want to be in Curly Masters or Curly Finals, whatever the thing is actually called at the end, you are absolutely out of your mind if you think that you can do that without getting a weekly in your scene. Find a way to make a weekly or go out to one. Those points are going to be so much more valuable than only going to majors. You cannot win this year's Curly by only doing majors. Just putting that out there. Rules aren't changing. With the way the rules are now, like, you can totally see it where Georgia and Florida now have, for the last month and a half, they have weeklies and they are just crushing it, and they are going to be the top people to beat until everyone else starts waking up and catching up. So,
and also they did make an announcement saying that they're possibly open ability for D tier events for 8 to 16 players, which, you know, that for people that have smaller communities, like, now you have literally, like, I actually do understand. Like, there's some scenes out there, like, I'm talking about, like, NorCal, like, I've been there. There were no locals. You could not get 16 players. I mean, you really could, and we did have it at that one tournament, NorCal Proving Grounds, where we got, like, 20-something players, but we had to pull, like, you know, really high-level talent, like, all over just to make that happen. But, you know, as far as that goes, like, we could never get anything consistently. Like, NorCal scene, like, I know has been rough as far as locals go, but you give them the opportunity like an 8 to 16 man, like, you know, bracket level. I think you could definitely do that for, like, any scene that plays Marvel. I mean, Chris Lent was just messaging how he's got his own scene to start having a 10-man bracket. Like, this is what the Curly Circuit's doing. It's, like, beautiful to see that, like, or, you know, like, before the circuit, our community was on life support. It was rough, and, you know, not to say that it's completely fixed or anything, but it's a community-driven event for the community, and it's definitely doing a lot for it. So I'm excited to see what happens for the future.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, one of the biggest focuses of the circuit in general was to help get every scene, you know, big or small, to get stronger and to get, you know, closer, to get a better foundation, especially going into Infinite, where we are about to see, you know, the numbers skyrocket. We saw what happened between Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5. You know, the numbers were insane, and we kind of need to prepare for that. And the best way to do that is to make sure that our scenes right now are getting stronger. People know where to go when Infinite is out. People know which tournaments to go to. They know where their scene is at. They're already familiar with people. And I'm telling you, this was a main goal of ours. Between Danger Room and the circuit in general, I think there were different goals. So I think people should not get confused between some of Angelic's thoughts and comments recently about Danger Room and how the voting went down and how he wasn't expecting certain things to play out due to how people are participating in the circuit. But that is specifically towards Danger Room, not in regards to the circuit in general, because, you know, we are succeeding in our goal in helping these scenes get stronger. So yeah, aside from that, shout outs, of course, to everyone helping out with the circuit. KP, you know, is really taking the lead on the circuit itself so that myself and some of the others can focus on the finale. Details coming soon. Get hyped, because I'm excited too. Yeah. So, you know, it's really excited, and all of us are working really, really hard on it for you guys and hopefully for the future. So that's where we're at right now. Other shout outs, the Spring Scuffle. It's okay. I'll let you chime back in. I just realized I have not shown the Spring Scuffle graphic. Spring Scuffle, that is in Bozeman, Montana, right? And that's on May 20th. That is going to be...
That's such a cute name for a tournament, too.
The Spring Scuffle. Yeah, so on your screen here you see we have a ton of games, a ton of pop bonuses. We have Super Smash Bros., Street Fighter 5, Marvel 3, Guilty Gear, For Honor, Injustice, and look at that, Marvel 3 with a $300 pop bonus. That's May 20th. Make sure you guys check it out, especially if you're in the area, and you can register for the tournament at smash.gg/tournament/spring-scuffle-2017. You see it there on the screen. And yeah, aside from that, the only other shout outs I have are to the crew and to RamBam, of course. Thank you so much for joining us. And it was awesome talking about Marvel news. Now, who said they wanted to chime in before we sign off?
Oh, I had one more thing to
Our
say.
special guest. Go ahead.
Sorry. I completely forgot because someone wanted me to say something. First, big shouts out to the Discord, Illuminati. You're mad cool. But there is a player out there in the scene who is going to be in Arizona during Danger Room, and he's talking hella caca to two certain players. A lot of caca. The players are not enough damage and static alpha, and he thinks he can beat them in a 1st to 10 money match, and he's demanding that they accept his offer. And I got some screenshots if you want to look at it, because he's talking some trash. His name is Lewis. He goes by Reedman. You might formerly know him as
snap.
Fizzy Cups.